Today's video was brought to you by energy drink and lack of sleep. Hello champions! In this video we will give you a tour of the newly launched Age of Sigmar Champions digital game from PlayFusion. In this video we aren't going to be playing any games or building any decks, and we will show you why later. You can download the app today from the Apple, Google or Amazon stores, or click on the links on the main page of the Warhammer Champions website. This video was filmed on an iPad using Apple iOS, but the features are similar to Android and we may cut in some Android footage. As for Amazon's Fire operating system, we have no idea. Sorry! We downloaded the Precursor app that let you scan cards before the official release, but this account didn't participate in the beta. If you are an Apple user and you have started scanning your cards before launch, make sure Game Center is enabled before you update to the launch app to make sure your cards follow you across. If you need help, go to the PlayFusion site, navigate to the forums and search for the Transitioning from Test Flight to the Live App iOS Users thread. This post gives you step-by-step instructions with pictures of how to make sure the Game Center is enabled. Remind us to put the link in the description, won't you? But once you have the new app, your screen should look like this. Notice how the play videos and early access buttons have disappeared. And now we have more buttons along the bottom too. But let's take a step backwards, because the first ever thing you see is the new mission pop-up. A mission is a small in-game task that gives you a little reward. In this case, the mission is to play a single game, in return for which we get a digital booster pack. Sounds like a good deal to us. It's worth noting that missions can only be played against other human players, not against the AI. And on the main screen, we can see that there is a little 1 on the edge of the missions button, letting us know that there's some new activity there. Likewise, if you look at the bottom of the screen, there is some new friends activity in the bottom right, and some new goodies have arrived in the bottom left. But going back to missions, there are two kinds. The first is the daily mission, and the second is the weekly mission, which simply means how frequently they arrive. Every 24 hours you'll be sent a new daily mission, and you can have up to 3 on the go at once. Likewise with the weekly mission, where you'll get 1 every 7 days. Here is an Android example, and you can see you have a countdown timer to when the next daily mission arrives, which is pretty much midnight GMT. Let's start exploring with the square button in the top left hand corner, which takes you to the main menu. And here you can adjust the music and sound effects volume, set challenges to friends only, and a new feature, change name, which is in both the Android and iOS versions. But this does cost you 50 gold. So you may have to play some matches as whatever My Little Pony derivative you accidentally chose when creating your account. Next up is the rules options, which opens up a browser and takes you to the PlayFusion website where you can access a written copy of the rules. Next we have the Find a Store option, which again takes you to the PlayFusion website and shows you a map based on your location, which is handy if you're looking to top up on boosters or take part in some organised play. Next we have Terms and Conditions, which is the standard legal mumbo-jumbo that most user agreements have. Then you have privacy policy, so you can see what PlayFusion are doing with your data. And then there is the link account option. If you want to play this game on multiple devices, such as a phone or a tablet, or on the eventual Steam release, you can have one account and share your cards across all of your devices. And finally you have the About page, which lists the build number of the software. So if you are having any technical difficulties, make sure you quote this number to technical support. Use the top left button to navigate backward through the different sections of the app, or just push the home button, which is in the middle of the bottom of the screen. Also along the top are the 3 currencies that this game uses. Starting on the left with the blue skulls, these are crafting fragments. You get them from recycling digital cards you don't want anymore, and very occasionally from achievements, which we'll cover shortly. You use these fragments to create copies of digital cards you do want, so you don't have to constantly keep opening digital boosters and hoping to get lucky. You also use them to buy most cosmetic items. In the middle, the lion-headed coin is unimaginatively called gold, and you'll get these from playing and winning matches as well as from missions and some achievements. You spend it on digital booster packs to get random cards. If you click on the coin, it takes you to the store where you can start spending. Finally, the purple shards are called gems. You get a limited amount from missions and achievements, but you are encouraged to buy these with real-world money. If you click on these, they bring you to the payments menu where you can see 6 different packages escalating in price. The more you spend, the more bonus currency you receive. All the prices are in your local currency, dictated by whatever app store you downloaded the app from. Tapping any of these will bring up said app store and charge you real world money. Back to the home screen, let's click on the bottom right button, which is our friends menu. At the top it tells us we have 1 friend and gives us the option to type in the player tag of anyone we would like to add to our list. Below that is a list of friends, which at the moment is only Chronicle. You can see he or she is currently offline and last used the app 20 hours ago. If you click on the recent strip, this displays your last 10 opponents, if they are online and whether you won or not. Nearby we are waiting on confirmation of, but it might be based on your location. Challenges are people who would like to play against you and who have sent you an in-game challenge using your player tag if you don't appear on their friends list. You can accept these if you like. And blocked is anyone you have set to block, although there is no voice or text chat in this game, so that cuts out many potential problems. Back to the home screen, and the next button with the rosette is Achievements. Achievements are like permanent missions. It is something you have to fulfill that doesn't go away. Completing these grants you achievement points, which you can see in the big circle on the left, as well as occasional currency and special booster packs. There is a drop-down menu to filter these based on the type of task or the faction associated with it. And if you want to go back to displaying everything, then tap the grey Show All button. Next up is leaderboards, where users are ranked for different things such as player level. And you can view everyone, only those in your region, or just your friends. And if you scroll down far enough, it will show you where you rank against them. As you can see, we have a long way to go, champions. Explore these at your leisure, but they include faction level, overall level of your cards, most scanned booster, etc, etc. You can use the 2 blue arrow buttons to go through the categories without having to use the drop down. Then we have booster cards, where you can see how many scans you have accumulated. As you can tell, we don't have any booster cards of our own, but if you remember back to our booster card episode, we scanned 1,185 cards, and all of those cards have been scanned a total of 418,037 times. Who said this game is dead? Our 1,100 scans translate into 3,300 points, which earned us 8 war chests and 8 booster packs, all without spending a penny. And you get a handy progress bar to tell you how close you are to your next reward. You can tap the More Information button to basically remind you, scanning good! And if your cards are the first cards a new player scans, it is called a referral, and you get some sweet prizes. Tap on the More button to bring up your referral progress. Here's our friend's account, and you can see where he got his nifty avatar from. If we select Overview, that brings up how you are doing in each of the factions. Like you, we haven't played any games yet, so we are rank 1. If we tap on our avatar while in Overview, that takes us to the Cosmetic items shop, where you can purchase and change your avatar, card backs and playmat. And scrolling down, we can see they're all locked, and most take crafting fragments to unlock. They are also divided into common, uncommon and rare using the card symbols. This is because you can get these randomly from war chests, more commonly known as loot boxes. If you tap on one, it shows you the colour version and where you can get it. This one you have to purchase the welcome bundle for. This one you can find in war chest or pay 600 crafting fragments for. And they all have individual names too. Here is the one we saw in the player referral section. You get the idea. And it's the same for card backs, which don't have a common version. And also the playmats, which are the background you play your cards on. Next up is the cards menu. This is where you can see the cards you have scanned in and those you have gotten from digital boosters. Click on the padlock icon to filter only the cards you own. And big shock, when you first install the game you get nothing. We have scanned in a couple of cards for testing, but definitely not enough to build a deck. And for some reason you get a pop-up telling you how unaligned cards aren't aligned to any faction. Nice to be sure, eh? And once you scan your cards in, you can use the filter buttons to view them by card type. If you click on a card, you can see the digital and physical cards are tracked separately, with digital on the left. The 0 tells us we don't have any purely digital copies of this card, and if we wanted to create one it would cost us 250 of the blue skull crafting materials. The red button, which currently says no digital copies, is for grinding up your unwanted digital cards. You generally get 10% of the forging cost of a card. An important thing to note is that this game needs to maintain a minimum number of digital copies to populate the AI deck for you to play against, so you might be confused as to why it won't let you grind up everything. Swipe left to view your physical copies. These are cards you have scanned in from real world cards, which you can now use in the digital game. Every time you play these cards in a digital match, they level up, unlocking future cosmetic rewards. And there are even leaderboards, so you can see who owns the most copies of an individual card. Now that is nerdy. Here is a future example. As you can see, we have 3 or more digital copies, so it tells us we have reached the max digital copies and it won't let us create any more. Unlike tangible cards, your digital cards can be in many different decks at the same time, so you only ever need 3. And if you look at the physical cards, notice how every card is tracked and leveled up separately. At the moment, there is no difference between foils and regular cards though. Let's grind something up! You will probably end up with lots of versions of the unaligned cards, so it's easy to make these your first target for recycling. Press the big red button. You get a pop-up asking to confirm. Now press the green button and watch the blue skull crafting fragments total in the top left increase. The next option is decks, but if we don't have any cards, you can't build any decks. In future, this is where your decks will appear, organised alphabetically, and you can filter them by faction using the buttons at the bottom. But more of this in a future video. Back to the cards menu, and the last entry is the collectibles, which are the avatars, card backs and playmats we saw earlier. The final button in the bottom left is the rewards tab, and there are 30 new things that this game wants us to see. First up are the free things we earned through scanning booster cards. Then there are 14 new items in the shop we haven't seen before, as this is the first time we've logged on. This video is getting a bit long. It's been 19 hours since we started working on this, and probably 10 minutes since you started watching. Both parties might need a wee, particularly as we've drunk so much energy drink to stay awake that we've begun to hallucinate. We will have a separate video on all the goodies, but Wave 1 booster packs contain 5 random cards, Alliance boosters contain 5 random cards for that specific faction, the Welcome Pack contains 10 boosters and 4 exclusive items, and the Mighty War Chest contains 3 rewards from a cornucopia of items. Plus there are playmats, very expensive playmats. If you just registered, you can broadcast your player tag to your friends or the world at large using electronic means, or what is easier, have them scan one of your cards. That's it, champions, we're off to bed. Oh no, wait! Apparently there is some kind of mini-game in this app. Click on the large flaming play button and you'll be taken to the play menu, which for new players has 4 options, 3 of which are locked. Practice is playing against the AI, a computer-controlled opponent, which is great for learning, especially when you only have the starter decks to play with. Casual is a random human opponent from anywhere in the world. Ranked play is like the season events you find in video games, where you have a set period to play as many matches and get as many points as you can. But your only option is the Proving Grounds, which is the tutorial that teaches you how to play. Notice that they took all the videos out of the app, so you'll have to find them on YouTube. Or maybe we can make one for you. That's a crazy idea. Pick a deck and follow the prompts, or read the rules. If this is too scary for you, the quit button is in the top left. But it still counts as playing a game, therefore you get your mission reward. Woohoo! And look what your next mission is! This should be more than enough information to get you started with the Warhammer Champions digital TCG. Oh shoo! We would go to bed, but apparently the next Mythos pack for the Arkham Horror living card game will be arriving any second now. Anywho, thank you for watching. This will be one of the last ever Warhammer Champions videos on the Arkham Chronicle main channel, as we've been uploading to a dedicated channel since September. It's not like we haven't been telling you.